kick things off, could you tell our listeners who you are, where you're from, and a bit about your career trajectory?
Okay, I try to keep it short. So I'm the editor-in-chief of GG Magazine, a magazine that is truly international, distributed into 36 countries, translated into 6 languages at this moment. And we are covering, I would say, the most beautiful places in the world and give advice on travel and interior, certain topics, like once we did as well plastic ocean topic, which I think is interesting for your topic. Yes, and on the side I do as well. I founded an indoor cycling company 2 years ago, and I am from Hamburg, Germany, but I lived in New York and in Los Angeles for a few years. And I travel a lot, and yeah, that's my background.
Great. So tell us where you've been holed up during this quarantine and how have you been keeping busy?
I actually have never been busier, I would say, because we were quite challenged in both businesses that I'm working in. I'm quite challenged because we needed to act very quickly. And when it comes to GG Magazine, we have for the first time now stopped the print issue, because at this time, for all the 36 countries, it was not the right time to distribute a printed version. And we solely went online from more or less one day to the next. And we actually, I think we did a very beautiful project, because we did an issue all on the most beautiful properties in Italy to help our partners in Italy to reignite their businesses after they were so hardly hit by COVID-19. It's received an amazing response because it's combined with an initiative within the 10,000 employees of Engel and lkers who are distributing the magazine to share, and it's like called Siamo con voi, that we're all in this together and we're helping this one partner to come back on its feet. And that's actually very beautiful. But for the first time since I'm doing this job, since 14 years, we have completely scratched all the editorial content and solely concentrate on the real estate. So it's over 65 real estates and a few beautiful yachts. And we'll see. And this is going to become now a regular thing during COVID-19, that we're going to continue with Spain next. And after that, it's going to be Germany, because Germans are now as well realizing that the summer is not going to happen out of Germany and traveling out of Germany. So we're focusing on the most beautiful real estate and I think even some rentals where you can have your summer vacation. Told you when it comes to HICYCLE, we completely changed our business as well to online. From one day to the next, we built a little film studio in that cycling room, and we're now streaming from that cycling studio to our customers at home, and we're now distributing bikes, HICYCLE home bike. Everything of this we created really within the last 4 weeks, and what I find fascinating combining HICYCLE and GG is that working has become so efficient.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable what you get done. I think that I would have never been able to create all what we created within days, really. And, like forming new offers to our clients, or to put an issue like this together with the 65 real estate for GG. I think it's a spirit of making everything happen, as well with colleagues, that they all realize. I mean, I'm the best example. I travel the world all the time. And I realize now you might be much more efficient if you don't travel that much. And it makes you realize, what are you really doing to the planet,
Yeah.
To mindful travel, I think how it has changed me is I will maybe think a little bit longer what trip is really necessary and which one I can just do over a Zoom meeting. I think that the travel industry is going through a crazy crisis, starting with the fact that what you see now, I don't know if you followed that Lufthansa, our biggest airline in Germany, is really suffering and is asking for help. I think that's a fact that we had never thought about. And then what I experienced in my personal circle of connections I have through GG is a lot of these companies who are organizing travel are suffering a lot as well. So I think that this will be a long-term impact, that we will see how people really behave. It's a behavior that we need to see how it's going to change. But places I've been to where already there are some amazing projects that have been long ago established already. Like, for example, Soneva Fushi, I don't know if you know that, in the Maldives, it's an island that is completely sustainable, which I thought was amazing when I traveled there for the first time. It's completely, every how do you say that, every rest of what they use, they are reusing for something. For example, glass, they kind of break and make surfaces with it. They mix it into some kind of material, and then they make surfaces for their tables with it. Or they have a garden where they plant their own vegetables. They're very, very mindful in that sense. And I think this is the owners were very much into that long ago already. Mm-hmm. So that has a beautiful impact, I think, for you. I took my daughters there at the time. They were much younger. Now they're 21 and 18, but I think this is 6 years ago. And I remember how they reacted on this. And I think that's the beauty, that you see something as an example in it, and it sets you some kind of mindset on a different angle. And then, as another example, I would say the last year was for the first time ever in Africa, and I was lucky enough to go twice. So I went to Namibia in January and to Kenya in August. And what I have to say, what impressed me a lot was wilderness safaris. I don't know if you heard about them.
No,
you should look it up. It's an amazing company. It's all about sustainability and mindfulness, because they involve the local communities, and as well, again, how they're treating the whole situation with animals, but also the population around it. They involve everybody, and you feel quite impressed that this has been done. I think they started in the 70s already with this.
Oh, wow. Kind of tips or kind of ways to encourage other organizations to take more sustainable practices into their day-to-day running.
Well, Natasha, I have to tell you, I'm really not an expert on that. And I think I'm very humbled to learn more about this. Mm-hmm. But I think that the need that we all need to do this, and that to encourage the curiosity and to learn more about that, as because on one hand I'm a business owner and an entrepreneur, and on the other hand I'm the editor-in-chief of a big company that's international. It's both ways. I think very important that you kind of lead by example. So I'm trying to educate myself, but I would be very, very I don't know, arrogant to say that I can teach anybody about that. Okay, so I'm learning as well as I'm going.
So to finish things off, what would you tell your 20-year-old self if you were just starting out your career? Example, me.
What I learned is that the beauty of life in general is to let yourself be curious. Curiosity is the most important thing, and your passion on fire combined with interest. And I think to be open to and ask for help as well. Ask people for help and not be afraid of asking. For me, that's what I always say: is there are no stupid questions. There are questions, but there's no stupid questions. Ask as many questions, and then with a little bit of luck and with a little bit of faith and the portion of curiosity, I think you will make an amazing career. I think that's the most important thing.